Okay, well, the recap. We somehow, despite my best efforts to kill us all, managed to survive the encounter with the big bads and their demons and their cultist posse and everything. Pretty much all of us passed out due to some drugs or whatever. Got dragged out. Weird big knocks at the door from something that wanted to come in. We managed to eventually, after we came about, found our way out of the Hive, so we're now outside of the actual city itself. Spoke to a mutant, which we somehow didn't kill. He pointed us towards a bunker. Dread chased after a... It was another kind of tech priest, wasn't it?
It was like some heavily modified tech priest.
Yeah, heavily modified tech priest that apparently travelled at the speed of sound.
Basically the Terminator.
Yeah, we got to great big bunker thing, found out that it was a source of demon hosts, and we took a deal to pass through safely rather than fight the tens of thousands of demon hosts, while most of us are on 3 HP.
1, actually.
If you took sound constitutions, they count as a full HP at this point, by the way. That's my understanding.
Sadly, I spent all my XP on more needy things.
Yeah, that was basically it. We're now getting into this abomination tank thing to be driven to some location.
As far as I recall, we're already in it, and it's already been driven.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. There are no controls on it, there's no front port to look out of. All you have is strangely, the seats that you're sat on are strangely warm, comfortable, with almost like skin. Seems to be some sort of leathery material. Various tubes and pipes move around the cabin that you're in, with red fluids passing backwards and forwards through them. Occasionally, some of them have some sort of black substance that seems to get injected into the fluids. There's the engine is very noisy and loud in here.
I have only one question. Is the seat comfortable?
The seat is very comfortable.
Then I don't care about anything else. I'm appreciating what comfort I can get for now.
I would normally reprimand you, but I'm too unsettled to do so.
Well,
I tried to smoke one of my low sticks, but I've got a serious case of the shakes at the moment as well. So.
You start. It's hot and sort of fairly humid actually in this in the chamber of this vehicle as it roars on for several hours, but it's also strangely lulling. Each of you starts to feel the weight of the many days that you've been going with very little sleep. Can anyone that does want to fall asleep make a toughness test?
who doesn't want to fall asleep?
Doesn't want to.
The question is, do you want to fall asleep inside of a demon engine?
Yeah, fuck it, I'll make a toughness test.
Given that I don't know.
There you go, have your toughness test. Fuck.
I will
It's
attempt.
actually quite hard for you to fail.
I know,
I
it's 50-50.
I'm going to attempt a toughness test. I am too unsettled.
I passed through it, no problem.
Yeah.
You rolled
Fuck
a
it.
9.
You rolled a 100.
Haha.
Okay, you are out like a light.
You just flat pass out.
It's just too much been happening, obviously. Dread?
I draw a
No.
moustache on Mozgus's face.
I've been set on fire again. I had to run after some demon engine, and now we're in a demon engine. I'm gonna go to sleep. You can wake me up when we get there.
Okay. Servitors. You stayed awake. Can those of you that are awake make an awareness test?
Awareness.
And remember, there's no point failing this while you manage the other one. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Partial
success. No, that just is a success. So long as it's over it, so long as it's a 0, it's a
Yes.
success.
Serveter was too distracted by his book to take notice of anything.
Who else is awake? Anybody? No.
Nope.
Yeah, you've OhmA's gone into like a restorative trance.
Just flip the switch.
Okay. Let's see which one.
Servitor's clearly still thinking about that book, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's too distracted.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Sorry, I was thinking about those demonettes.
At least your problem has gone for the moment.
Condition.
Well, I wouldn't be running anywhere with it.
Looks like that, yeah.
Okay. Sort of fitting, I suppose. Eva, as you're going along, you're one of the few that's, well, one of the two that seems to be awake and alert. You're sort of having difficulty with your low stick, as it were.
I had that problem too.
But you're feeling a bit more relaxed overall. And are you injured currently?
I am currently at 4 wounds. So, yeah, pretty heavily.
Do you want to try and heal yourself?
Has enough time passed?
Yes.
Okay,
You're
sure.
going to be in this thing for about 6 hours or so.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. So if you roll die 10, try not to get a 9.
3. So it doesn't hit the threshold.
Yeah. You start to become.
Wait, isn't it 2d10?
No, it's 1d10.
Oh, it's just
equal to
okay.
your psi rating.
Okay.
But you haven't learned to invocate yours yet. But yes, you actually are, for the first time, thinking about it and feel a sort of swirl of warp energies, pretty much as you try and relax to get rid of the pain like you usually do. You're aware that you're doing something now. But yeah, no psychic phenomena so far. What's you in there? The other thing you notice after you've been trying to do this for a while is that Mozgus seems to have slipped into his seat quite a bit.
I kick his leg.
Make a willpower check.
Who?
Mozgus,
Wait, who's making a willpower check?
You.
you.
Oh,
Anyone who doesn't want to get eaten by
I may be about to save your life here.
Yeah, it doesn't particularly sort of just makes that sort of and then starts to slip back. Yeah, he seems to be fast asleep, and literally he's about half of his body is sunk back into the chair, almost like he's being absorbed into it.
Yeah, I was going to say, does anyone else look like they're, relaxing way too much into their chairs?
Is being eaten off first.
Yeah, don't
Eldest
metagame
is
it.
just like he normally is. When he rests, he's sat sort of rigidly, unmoving. No sign really, other than a very slow, rhythmical breathing, that he's actually alive at all. Serveter is engaged in thoughts, it seems, looking around, making notes on a
Data slate.
data pad. And Dread is out cold, but is slumped to one side, really.
Right, and so Mozgus is the only one who looks like they're basically
Sinking into their chair.
Yeah, it's not natural. Okay, yeah, I get Servetar's attention, and I just say, does this look right? Is it just me, or is he disappearing into the chair? Servetar?
He does seem a little more relaxed than usual. I think we should probably drag him out of it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we drag him out.
Okay. Can you both... Well, either can you make a strength check?
Yep. Bonuses, modifiers?
Plus 10 for Servetar's assistance. Okay. You yank Mozgus
Why
up and
couldn't
out.
I get these rolls last week?
And,
You're not dealing with grenades.
Yeah.
We could try throwing you and see what happens.
Mozgus, you sort of wake up. Suddenly. Your back and sort of lower half feels
Chewed.
moist.
Eaten half first, that's the horrible way to go.
And wet. You're not quite sure. You must have been sweating very, very heavily.
It has been
Not
long
proper.
to the bathroom.
And you're very, very sleepy still.
What's the floor made out of in here? Is it metal, or is it the same sort of leather?
It's got a leathery sheen to it. And basically there's a change in engine tone as you pull him out of the chair. It's almost like it becomes more grating, almost as if the vehicle's angry.
Oh.
You were the fuel.
Yep.
I'm a fine piece of meat.
Sacrifice.
Who's got knowledge demonology?
Not me.
Probably.
Yes, I believe you have. Yeah. Can you make a check, please?
Any modifier?
You can have plus 20.
Did you experience this from the inside?
Partial.
Partial, yeah. You've heard of demon engines, it seems you're in one.
Now you tell us.
I don't think telling you is going to be a very good
I'm sleeping.
Well, if he told us beforehand, I would have chopped the vehicle up.
Yeah, we've been eaten, but yeah, fair enough.
And now that we're in it, what would you do if he tells us?
I will chop the vehicle up from the inside.
On the inside!
There's some softer bits on the inside.
Exactly, the weak
Start there.
point.
We can start there.
First ever demon engine to die of indigestion.
Okay,
Well, something was going to eat disagreed with it.
I like the image of the old granny who takes her demon engine into the mechanic. Your demon engine seems to be suffering from indigestion. We'll need to degun it.
Okay.
How far into the journey are we at this point?
You have no idea. You've been in this thing for
We've got
several
no idea
hours.
how. Okay.
You don't know where you're going.
Okay, so
You
it's
have
not like
no viewpoint out.
it's not like it's within the first 30 minutes or anything. Then
No. This is several hours in, about 3 or 4. Can you, those of you that are awake, can you make toughness checks at +20, since you're now aware that you're in a demon vehicle?
Am I now awake? Am I awake, or am I sort of still drowsy?
You're very. You feel drained, but yes, you are awake.
I think pulling the cleric up in his freaking armor has worn me out a bit.
Well, there is the
Serveter?
hammer as well.
Yeah, you're yeah, you're all managing to stay awake, although Eva is sort of nodding little bits, and then. But can you all make awareness checks?
Another awareness. Getting us to make checks until we fail, eh?
Eh.
Ah, shit.
So it's partial success there. Mozgus, you're sort of watching around a bit. Yeah, Dread's slumped a bit into the wall.
Slumped into the wall. I like it.
This is no time to be sleeping on the job. I've tried to pull him up.
Okay, make a strength check.
I see you go to that and I help.
So what's the modifier then?
+10. Okay. You sort of yank Dread up, Dread you awaken, and sort of...
I say
your non-cybered arm feels sort of wet and sort of slimy.
Yeah.
I hope you haven't been doing inappropriate activities.
I was asleep. What have you been doing with me? Perfect.
I turn to Serveter and I say, get OhmA up, we need to get out of this thing.
Get out of it, why?
It's trying to eat us.
Do I have anything interesting in amongst my my drugs collection?
Are you gonna try and give it indigestion or something?
No, he's gonna drug the demon vehicle.
Hey, it's absorbing living
The
material.
last thing we need is a demon host that has the munchies.
Oh, it's already got the munchies.
You've got many interesting things in your little drug collection.
I'm sure he has.
Give it the combat drugs.
It would get us there faster.
Get us there or eat us faster. That's what I want to know.
Do I have any stims or
Yes.
similar?
You have,
Okay.
I believe, all of you have stims in your medkits.
I'm going to shit out
Yes.
since you got 9 of them.
Okay, I'll take one and slap it on the seat and see what happens.
Okay. You inject the seat, and suddenly there's this sound from the engine, and things seem to be moving a bit. You can hear the sound of the tracks moving much faster.
Excellent.
Will you stop feeding it?
I hope whatever you just did does not give it an appetite. A bigger appetite.
I'll just take out the needle pistol and show the selector for the poison shots, and then put it back.
I take out my 4 grenades and go, yeah,
Oh, those are my grenades. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Dredd, you should have these. You have better luck with them.
Yeah, no, I've confiscated them. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I'm giving them to you now.
We're already on
Right.
the inside. What do you think's going to happen if I unload a full clip of poison darts into the seat?
What do you think's going to happen if he fires off one of those grenades? Nice enclosed space.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yeah, about the same thing happens when you send a fireball into the 10-foot by 10-foot room.
Yeah. It clears out the room.
Well, it kills the spider, that's for
We
sure.
killed the spider, yeah, and the rest of the party. But, you know, less people to argue with loot over.
Have you woken OhmA yet? Up yet?
Yeah, I'll poke him. Is he slumped in the seat or what?
He's sat rigidly in the seat, sort of in his normal resting pose, as it were. As soon as you touch him, he wakes up.
What? I just look around and say, what?
Nothing.
Serveter, you've got a better grasp of this. You explain it to him.
As per usual, we're up to our eyeballs. Don't relax. And don't feed the car.
What do you mean, don't feed the car?
Nothing.
It would be bad. Well, worse.
If I wanted to feed the car, how would I feed the car?
We
By
don't. We
being
don't.
in
We don't
it.
feed the car. We generally just do not feed the car. Leave it alone.
Mozgus and Dread, can you both roll 2d10
2 die 10.
Separately or?
separately? It can be as one roll. Or, yeah.
Oh, 10.
Oh, so just
Yeah. Just 2d10 together. Yeah, but
There we go. Yeah. 14. Sorry, 12 total.
okay. Regain 12 wounds and regain 10 wounds.
A flippin' time.
yeah.
13 points.
So I'm back up to 11.
No fire in sight. Today's a good day.
Time for another nade.
No, shut up. I have all the nades, by the way. So.
Yeah,
one told me anything.
it's just something you've noticed, sort of, as you're starting to become more aware and your skin starts to dry out. It seems to be a lot healthier than before. Your wounds seem to have closed. Your charred and burned skin seems to be, well, quite nice and
Pretty again.
clear. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Supple.
However, you do. Your armor's a bit tighter, Dread, than before.
Fuck swole, man. Check his biceps. Well,
Sounds like you need
biceps.
to go
is the other
up
one.
size.
okay? Now I'm really confused as to what the hell was just happening. Was it trying to eat them or was it healing them?
Do you want to ask?
Ask the car.
Well, are you guys going to point out that you're feeling much better?
I am. You know, of course.
I will just claim it was the
Holy Emperor.
the mercy of the Emperor.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Red strong.
Are we saying that this car is alive?
I gotta think about it because
Serveter has told us that it is definitely not just machine.
it's a demon engine. Yay.
Don't say the demon engine.
Yeah. I'm not saying the D word. I am not going to interject the D into this.
Most of you wouldn't understand what a demon engine is anyway.
Good.
I mean, this is a biological construct, so it's almost like a servitor, really.
Can we kill it? Damage it?
Do you want to kill it yet? Like, for all we know, we could be thousands of miles from where we're supposed to be.
It's true. That was the second question. Do we want to?
Well, we've been in here for several hours at this point. I don't know how much longer we've got. We could be in the middle of a desert for all we know. I mean, I don't know what the planet's like outside of the Hive.
Pretty shitty.
As you
Generally
sort of
speaking, if it's a hive world,
saying
it's not going to be nice outside.
Well, yeah, exactly.
you're talking about that, the sound of the tracks slows down, the sound of the engine starts to come up, and there's a sudden lurching motion that throws you into the wall, except for Eldest, as the tank sort of turns very sharply, as only something on caterpillars can.
Turning left or turning right?
Turning left.
Okay.
And then stops, and there's a... As the door behind you opens.
I think we're here.
So where is he?
Or it's unhappy with us.
I don't know where we are, but I am grabbing the shotgun.
Yeah, I'm pulling out my las rifle, and I'll take point going out, I guess.
I will draw my power sword.
Ready my needle pistol.
I got a quick draw. Fuck that.
We're not even
I
in
have
combat
quick draw,
yet.
but I can still just use that to get my other weapon.
Okay, what do we see? Ooh.
I need to scroll up.
Ruins.
Ooh my.
It looks fairly palatial. Possibly even this was a cathedral of some kind.
How terrible!
Wasn't what didn't we get? Didn't we this evil tech priest say that we were going back to Hive?
Yeah,
Thought so.
Oh,
this might be on the edge of the Hive.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't
You
think
can't
a
really see
demon
much
engine
around
is
you
going to try and get in the
because
city.
buildings are stretching up. This could be a part of an upper Hive.
Wait,
Can
why
we
would
see
an
the-
upper Hive
Can we see the
be?
sky to verify that we're actually out in the open?
Well, there seems to be a sky above. It's very smoky and clouded, but it's
It's not a metal sky, though.
no.
So we're definitely outside, though whether we're on top of the
Yeah.
hive or out, not in the hive.
There's quite a bit of moisture here as well. There's the growth that you see, and yeah, a sort of faint misty tendency. Yeah, it's you definitely feel outside. It's quite cool, a lot cooler than where you were before. As the vehicle closes behind you and starts to drive off.
Oops, like that guy.
Well, we seem to be here.
Oh, where's here? That's the question. Do we see any markings specifically anywhere?
As you start to look around, something seems to almost seep out the pores of a plant nearby. A sort of a tree, and it sort of forms up and forms almost like a tendril pointing into the ruins itself.
No, just ominous.
Similar in nature, somewhat to what one of you witnessed previously.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
I had that exact phrase in my mind.
As long as it's only in your mind.
Then it's just heresy for me.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, if that's the only indication that we're getting of something, shall we?
Does anybody else actually see this?
Everybody can see it.
Okay, just checking.
I say we look around first.
Probably a wise.
You wish to defy the Holy Emperor?
The Holy Spaghetti Monster? No, I say we look around first. We have a direction that this thing.
It sort of, as you sort of look towards it, it seems to crystallize and then shatters down onto the floor.
But of course.
That saves us the trouble of destroying it.
I walk over to the shards.
Yeah.
Is there anything distinct about them or anything, or have they just
Looks like they're just
vaporized?
a crystal. There's no bone structure. There's no real organic structure that you can see.
I pick a piece up and I take it over to Serveter. Just say, is
Yeah.
there anything in your knowledge that might indicate what the hell happened
As you
here?
pick it up and start going, it turns into. It suddenly sort of seems to turn back into like a globule of something, and it smiles at you.
Oh, that thing. Oh, I remember now.
And
I
then
knew
rolls off your
something
hand.
bad would happen in order to try to pick it up.
Egon, your mucus.
Rolls off your hand and drops to the floor, and seems to just seep into the ground.
Oh, good. It's everywhere.
I never saw this thing before. I'm taking it this is the
Nope.
same thing that was down in the old house.
It's a similar thing, yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, I never saw that, so I'm just like, what the? Okay,
Yeah.
I just
leaves
back
a
away.
slight slime trail across your hand as it rolls across and drops, almost like snot.
I wipe my hand against my armor and to get it off. It's like, ew. What the hell?
This is similar to what we saw in the mansion.
When
At least what?
when was this? When we were out, or
Pure sword, I think.
Well, I did too. It came from the statue, one of the statues that was exuding the. Or
Yeah,
from
it
the
was
fountain.
like
oh, okay.
Part of the
That was
undergrowth
excusing
sort of
the-
seems to flow and twist back slightly, as if inviting you.
I still would say we take a look around the immediate area.
Yeah, okay.
You start sort of peering around and moving amongst some of the bits of broken plasticrete, and so there seems to be burial markers here, and as you actually start to walk into the ruins proper, there's odd cracking, crunching noise under your feet, particularly OhmA, and you look down to see that it's skulls and bones.
Huh.
Seems to litter the entire floor here.
Is it exhumed graves, or is it just on top of the graves, basically?
It looks like just been dumped over here, really, overall. There are bits of the foliage is sort of grown up and out and around it to conceal it to an extent, but yeah, disturbing it quite easily shows.
Is there anything noticeable about the bones? Like scorch marks, bite marks, scratch marks?
Yes,
All of them? Or just...
scorch marks and bite marks mainly.
So you're saying that there are grave markers here?
Yes.
There's grave markers, and then there's these bodies which are just all over the place. So
Well, they're all skeletal. There's no
yeah.
flesh of any sort on them.
So this
So-
was a burial ground, and then there were a lot of people killed on top of it.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
dumped.
These
Ancient
bodies have
burial
been-
ground, potential mass grave as well. Yeah.
Mozgus, can you make an awareness check?
okay. Do-do-do. I'm blind as a bat.
Good.
This is where the skeleton grabs me.
Well, you're looking around, but a lot of the iconography and things here are very familiar.
Maybe
It's
it's a
actually quite comforting in some ways.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking as you're moving across.
Do
There
they-
are many places of the honoured Imperium where the bones of those loyal to the Emperor are placed in times of battle, sometimes only dropped. You know,
I was going to say, do they all appear to be human remains?
yes.
Okay.
And The other thing you notice, sort of trying to study it a bit closer, none of them. There's no items of clothing or jewellery or anything else with them.
Literally just bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's either so ancient that all of the clothing has just eroded away, or they're all naked.
How
You'd expect metal buckles and things or something if it was.
Okay. Well, I have no idea what size this place is. So I mean,
It's the size of a large cathedral.
right.
Or at least this part that you're in at the moment. That you can see around. You can't see beyond at the moment unless you're going to climb up.
Right. So I mean, I just say that we explore this place, and
How much
when we're
time do you
done,
want to spend exploring?
large cathedral split into 6 people, 5 minutes.
This is it. No, Dark Heresy cathedrals are like fucking massive.
And it's 5 people.
Right.
As in take a standard cathedral and strap 40 more onto it. That's like a small house.
Take Manhattan
so
Island.
You're splitting up and heading in different directions then?
No.
No, I really do not think it's a good idea to explore this place alone.
No. I see Scooby-Doo. That's not gonna happen.
Where is sort of the central point of the cathedral? The most important point of the cathedral. Let's head for that.
Good point.
An altar or whatever.
Yeah, if you head along through this rather large antechamber and into the main hall of worship, as it were, you head it across and through. The ceiling's a bit more intact here. You head through a couple of grand archways. Light still streams through sort of what were probably glass window panes and things at some point in the past. All the time, this crunching of bones under your feet as you're moving across. And at the end there is what was once the grand effigy of the Emperor, and sort of about 15-foot tall statue, and an altar of supplication in front of it, which is currently piled with skulls and vines and rotting material, and has this strange 8-spoked wheel-like sign on the base of it.
I make sure to perform whatever the standard way of, like, when you're standing in front of a visage of the Emperor, you know.
No.
Sign of the Aquila.
Sign of the Aquila.
Sign of the Aquila. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but the altar is desecrated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Mozgus, can you make a Forbidden Law Heresy at plus 60?
Plus 60. 1 second.
Yes, this place used to be sacred to the Emperor and is now profaned to the worship of the Chaos God Nurgle.
Joy, it's
Oh.
fucking Chip. It's all fucking Chip.
Fuck you, Chip.
This is the Cathedral of Chip.
As you sort of are looking around, you see more and more signs. You see the symbol of Nurgle settled into even the bone patterns in the floor.
There
And
you
even
go.
as you're watching, sort of, and from under the skulls to your left, sort of rising up, is a pool of ooze.
Oh joy!
Is it similar to the ooze that came out of the plant thing?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
That might have been a nurgling you were holding.
But that was fairly small. This is about 15 foot in diameter as it raises up,
Oh fuck! It's a great unclean one.
sort of, and takes slowly a sort of large, fairly amorphous still, human-ish form. That's the mouth sort of drapes open. It's far too wide. It's got far too many teeth and things which are grim and blackened and decayed as it sort of rises up to about 9 feet in height. Looks across towards you.
I look to OhmA and say, "This is what happens when you don't follow the Emperor's plan."
No, this is what happens when you touch stuff you shouldn't touch.
Bird.
Greetings.
Oh, fantastic it talks.
Hi.
Hello.
Man, you guys are so affable.
I can feel the corruption.
The Oracle awaits you below.
Oh
She
no!
gestures off with one arm,
Is it back in the
which
direction that we
stretches
came?
out. No, actually forward and across, and it's like a trail of this stuff again seeps up amongst the bones to sort of highlight your path.
Actually, just to confirm, we have not yet gone the way that the original tentacle pointed. At all.
Nope.
Okay.
Be right back.
I think this is the less subtle hint.
Yeah.
All paths lead to the Oracle.
Agree. Another fucking mind reader. What's this fucking oracle?
You.
Yeah,
Probably nothing
wasn't
good.
the heretic talking about an oracle?
I can't remember.
Neither can I.
Well, you should remember. You were the one
I
that
don't-
spoke to him.
Well, yeah, but...
Obviously, talking out of character here.
Yes.
well, yeah. No, I can't remember. I don't recall him speaking about any oracles.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second. Just want to check something quickly on my character sheet, which is refusing to come up. Here we go. Yes, I have the total recall talent. If there was mention of an oracle, I will remember what it is.
The problem is that it was during a conversation that I had with a computer in binary, so...
Ah, okay, that's a different matter.
Do you have total recall, Eldest?
I do not.
I'm back. How corrupt are
You
we
must have some kind of eidetic memory.
He has a hard, don't you have like an internal hard drive? Can't you just like store it there?
You can review some of the data that you gained, which does actually mention something about a grey oracle.
A grey...
Grey oracle.
Oh.
It was sort of in an offhand manner, sort of about the lift. The lift would take you to the grey oracle, and then you could get back into the hive.
Huh. Sorry, are we downstairs yet with the thing? Or?
No, not yet. We're going over what OhmA was talking with her tech priest
Right,
about.
so there was something said about the oracle. The grey oracle. Okay, still, before I go down to any fucking oracle, I mean, I note the direction which this thing is pointing at, but I just want to get a better vantage point so we can see where the fuck we are and what's around us.
Okay, as you start sort of to look around, the doorway behind you has grown up with a load of vines and rather sickly looking plants.
We can't go back anymore.
Well, we could probably blast through, but you know there would be consequences.
Of course, there always are.
The Oracle awaits.
Yeah, we heard you the first time.
Shut up.
Man, you guys are cavalier.
It starts to rise up as if looking riled. This thing is now 12 foot tall.
Yeah. OhmA, I think we better do what it wants us to right now. Not in much of a position to negotiate.
Well, I agree. Logic dictates that we move forward. Right. Fucking
We
logic.
start heading where
Yes.
it directs.
Onwards to logic.
Yeah, follow the logic.
You sort of head across towards back, still crunching on these bones. That around you, as if something is losing its patience to an extent. This green stuff just flows up so that you've just got this path ahead of broken bones, and on each side you've got just this sickly, faintly luminescent green.
Flubber.
Yeah.
Upper.
As you move across,
I make
And-
sure not to touch any of it.
Good, good. You're learning.
You're learning.
yeah, the area is also filled now with this. It was fairly clear before. It's now very putrescent.
I'm tempted to put on my respirator.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting mine on.
It's not a bad idea, to be honest.
I should
Anyone
put it on.
not putting the respirator on, other than Eldest, who doesn't need to.
Nope,
Yeah.
definitely putting a respirator on.
No, respirator sounds like a good plan.
Yay, go respirators.
Across. As
Is
you're
my
going,
armor
several
sealable?
more of these things sort of rise up and seem to watch you as you're going along, as well as several of these little globules seem to break off from the main and roll ahead of you, sort of chuckling slightly, smiling back at you.
I want to shoot them, but I won't.
And sort of actually jumping up and around a little bit as they lead you across to a stairway which at one point gone down into the Sanctum Crypt, where the Most Holy would be buried in the past.
If it follows you home, you get to housebreak it.
But there are no bones down that path, it's actually stone.
So are they, I'm just gonna, like the nurglings, are they still like ahead of us on the stairs, or do they leave us behind?
No, they seep back into the stuff
Ah, okay.
behind you, which has kept pace with you behind you.
Good. Downstairs we go.
You start heading down into crypt-like areas, sort of moving along. Your path is fairly clear. It's there are various alcoves which are piled high with bones. Again, no sign of belt buckles or anything else as you move across. And then, as you descend some more steps and across, you head into some sort of repository of books. Thousands and thousands of books that you start walking through. Serveter, you recognise that this would have, for some part, been part of the Administratum.
Can I make out what's on the spines of the books?
There's various encodings and things. There seems to be a lost archive, as it were. You'd have to stop and sort of examine a bit more before.
I don't think that's a good plan right at the moment.
But this is obviously knowledge lost to the Imperium for some time.
The Imperium's always losing knowledge. And occasionally planets.
As you move along, manage to resist your interests and head down again into a crypt which the back wall has actually been smashed open and goes into a large cavern of some description. And as you approach and look in, you see a hugely obese man sitting apparently on some sort of growth out of the ground, surrounded by skulls and bones, and chewing on what looks to be a child's left arm. It's no longer attached to the child.
Oh, they're good. That would be horrible.
Is it fresh or just one of
Do you
like,
want
the
to know that?
skeletons?
Do you really want to know that?
Has it
I
been flat
want-
paid?
Fairly.
Fairly fresh, okay.
Yeah. And
So we're still getting supplies.
make an awareness check, anybody that wants to.
Yep, sure.
Incoming production points.
I suck at awareness.
That's another 100. You're specifically not looking around.
Let's say that it's my training kicking in. I
You
know
pulled your
that-
hammer out, you're just staring at the inscriptions.
Look at his shoes. Shiny, shiny.
While you're leafing through your book.
Hold on. I'm also gonna make one, because why the fuck not?
Okay. Okay.
Ironically,
Oh, wow.
From Serveter's perspective, there's quite a few bodies and bits and pieces around which are rotting quietly. Fairly young bodies by the looks of it, all naked. And you decide to not look further for the time being. They're all in various states of decomposition and rot.
Yeah, you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Mozgus is intently holding his book and looking at the front pages and probably contemplating trying to brain this fat slob in front of him with it. Then you're trying desperately also to ignore the many sigils of Nurgle that are crafted across the whole of his form. Dread just doesn't want to really think about anything, but is probably staring at this huge gluttonous monstrosity in front of her. However, OhmA, looking around, you can see there are actually attached to some of the walls chains and things, people hanging from the walls, sort of. Some of them are twitching slightly still.
Lovely.
And along nearby, almost within arm's reach of the sky as you look up to one side, there are the bodies of about 3 children, between 7 and 10 years old, sort of just hanging, and looks like, yeah, he's literally just torn bits off them to chew. And then there are about 4 more sort of hung actually above that. You see either that seem to be still alive.